Arizona, homeowner's best friend.
One question, kind of the last question I have for you, Tyson, is can you share an example of how a local farm or region has benefited from a specific agricultural innovation?
Yeah. So there's a professor at University of Arizona that he's working on a kind of innovative farming technique that they call agrivoltaics.
Oh, yes.
And
okay.
Are you all familiar with this? The solar panels that you put out into a field?
Yes. Yes.
So these agrivoltaics, for those that don't know, is you can put in a solar farm, and you probably want to do the placement of your panels and the height of your panels in a special way that allows you to get your equipment underneath them. But by spacing out the shading from these solar panels, it allows you to grow high water demand crops. So they're getting a little bit of shade every day, and that little microclimate that you're creating underneath those panels can help you in places where some of the hottest months of the year you may not be able to get a crop going real well in Arizona. And so Greg's had a lot of success with that, and there's a lot of links on the internet about how that agrivoltaics has taken off in a lot of places. And so the benefit there is that you're also a solar farm, so you're producing electricity as another product.
So how high do they have to be for tractors to get under them and all that stuff? Because a lot of the quote-unquote solar farms that we see today, which are generating some controversy to a certain extent. So but in this case, they're building them specifically for a match of farming and solar, right?
Yeah, I would say that you would as the farmer, you would decide how high that panel needs to be. And the higher it is, then obviously you're going to start dealing with wind.
And I was just talking about this with a buddy who's works for SRP, and he has to go clear a bunch of weeds under a big solar farm south of Florence. And I was talking about there's a farmer in Colorado that took a section of his land and put solar panels on it, but he's also started raising sheep, and the sheep live under the solar panels and clear them. I'm like, you should just go get a bunch of sheep and
or
turn them
goats.
loose under there and let them go. So
goats out there.
Instead of, so now he's got part of his farm that he's making money on year round instead of it being dormant the whole winter season.
Yeah. No, and we even, one of our ranchers up north also had some goats, and literally she'd get contracts from different entities, including the city, and she'd put them out in an area where there are too many weeds. They will inhale just about anything and clear that out. So she made a business out of it. I mean, innovative attitudes and approaches to it. And Tyson, this has been fascinating. I just really appreciate that you joined us. And I really admire what you and your team and the rest of the University of Arizona research team. ASU is also doing some research tied into agriculture. So we have high expectations for you. You guys have set the bar high. Yeah. I'm very expectant.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona homeowner's best friend.